There we go. Hey, Mama, what's up?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, could you turn your phone horizontal for us?
Turn it what?
Horizontal. Turn your phone
Oh,
horizontal.
this way.
There it is. It's much better.
Okay.
How you been? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
You been all right?
Yeah. What about you guys?
Good. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
So it's not low, it's not too low?
No, it's not.
Cool.
Excellent.
So, what's up?
So basically, what we're doing, you gave her the introduction and everything.
So, Mama, excuse
Already,
me.
you
I
know.
was actually just finishing eating a carrot. Yeah, excuse me. I was just chewing. But from 30,000 feet again, what we're doing here is just to remind you this Zoom call is being recorded, and
Right.
yeah, and what we're doing, it's just in the process and in the spirit of just formalizing our family, you know. And when I say our family, I'm referring to Alethea and myself, and then extended family outside of that, et cetera, et cetera. But we've like last year we got our estate plan done, and years before that, life insurance and all that stuff. And 2020, we were just continuing to like dot the I's and cross the T's on our family and just formalizing it. So we, after the marriage and stuff, we've also committed to formally doing quarterly family meetings, she and I, with the family mass.
Okay.
Yeah, family mass, and like, you know, reiterating our family pillars of agape, authenticity, and spiritual freedom, and going deep within that. Also, just breaking down different verticals of our life, like, you know, like going into, you know, the you know, God, family, career, community. And what are we doing in our community? What are we doing in our careers? And how are we being in our family together? And then also extended family. And then what are we doing in terms of God with ourselves, et cetera, et cetera. And in that spirit, you know, like I said before, Alethea was, came across this spiral notebook. And in the spiral notebook, she found notes from grandmother, you know, and she was like moved to tears and was like, "Oh my God, it's so crazy," and was just reminiscing on that. And I'm like, you know, how dope would it be, you know, because I've never heard grandmother's voice,
Right.
you know, and so I'm like, how dope and special would it be to kind of record these conversations and have memorial conversations between. Imagine if you saw like your great 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 grandfather being interviewed and speaking with your great 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 grandfather and talking to him about what did he want to his family to inherit, what did you want to inherit from him, you know, and when did he feel the most powerful, what are his political beliefs, what are his spiritual beliefs, you know, his best time in childhood, his worst memories, and all that stuff. And the value of this, I think, is going to enhance significantly, not if but when we pass away, you know, to see your great 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 grandmother and what did she want you to inherit from her, straight from her mouth. You know, when did she feel the most powerful, straight from her mouth. You know, her political beliefs, what time it was, date it was, and just like to cherish that and take that, you know, forever. So yeah, so that's what this is, just to remind you of it. So in the spirit of this, just to be mindful and keep at the forefront of your mind who's going to be seeing this, you know. These are going to go into the family archives. And again, when I say family, you know, our archive, but our children's will be seeing this, watching this. They will make time to see these. We review them in our family meetings and stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And so far, we've been analyzing, you know, our parents and like what are the common thread that we see in it all, and what did we inherit from them, you know, already, you know. So it's something special. So with that, we have a couple of formal questions we're going to be asking you, and then some informal will be flexible during it, but it should be about 2 hours or some change. And we're going to just dive right in.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. So tell me, what is your full name?
Bathsheba Maria Ross Bray.
That's so awesome. Where were you born?
Los Angeles, California.
Turn up, United States. And
Yeah.
what is your date of birth?
October 28, 1958.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. All right. And what is your current age?
I'm 62.
That's awesome. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Los Angeles, California, in Watts.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Cool. Do you know today's date?
Today is March the 28th, 2021.
Gotcha. And what about the time?
It's around 2:15, somewhere in there in
Yeah,
the
2:10,
afternoon.
2:10, 2:15.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Tell me, answer me this. What is your current occupation?
Currently, I'm retired.
Awesome.
I used to be a medical records clerk, and
For
I
how many
worked at
years?
for 19 years
Gotcha. And you're a medical records clerk where?
at the Watts Health Center.
That's so awesome. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. What was your first job?
You know what? That was my very first job.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, except for like summer jobs where you do like clerical stuff or whatever they have you to do.
Do you remember the
But
first job you ever had? Like when you ever got paid to do something, your first job ever?
yes, yes, at the Watts Health Center. Yep.
So that was the very first job you've ever had ever when you was paid to do something. That was your first job.
Yes.
Wow.
I got my benefits and all of that. Yeah.
And
At the
how
Watts.
young were you when you started there?
Ooh, it was in 1985. So, uh, um, I guess I was 30 something. I guess you have to subtract and from 1958 to 1985. Yeah,
That's good. That's good. Oh,
30 something.
it's cool, baby.
Sorry. I was just trying to do the math.
It's all good. Cool.
You mentioned summer jobs though. Like, what was then your first? Like, if you did you ever have a job when you were like a young teen or?
Yeah.
What was
When
that?
my first summer job was when I was 13 because I lied on the application. I put my age up on the application, so I got the job. They weren't looking at birth certificates or nothing like that. So
And what was that job?
working at the what was that? The Watts. It was a Watts Writers Workshop. They had a building down there on 103rd,
Mm-hmm.
and it was mainly teaching us how to dress for a permanent job, how to act, what they would require on interviews, and
Oh, it was
Career
like,
development.
yeah, job training.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you were
yeah,
helping them train and help people with jobs.
Or were they training you?
they was training me, yeah,
Was
on
they
That was
how
a
to
paying
get
job?
a
y'all?
real job.
Was they
You know
paying?
what to expect. What?
Were they paying you?
Yes.
Wow.
They paid like what was it, $5 or $6 and $5 and no, it was like less than that, like $3 an hour,
Wait.
3.25,
So
something like
they
that.
paid you to train you?
Yes. Yeah, they paid me to train me to learn how to go out in the world and get a career, what to
Huh.
expect, when you go on an interview and stuff like that.
Huh. You were
Then they
13.
also had you doing office work, like whatever office work, like you writing down, transferring something from one page to another. If they didn't want to do it, then they, say, "Oh, here's something I could give you to do."
So was it targeted toward like teens or something like that?
Yes, it was targeted towards teens.
Fascinating. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your dream career?
My dream career was to be a secretary. I always wanted to be a secretary. Well, I don't know why, but I always wanted to be a secretary. So
Huh.
working for medical records kind of, fulfilled that for me because it was dealing with paperwork
That's so cool.
mainly.
So what is your dream career now?
My dream career now is to have something, a business where I'm making my clothing, like my knitting and crocheting, creating like crafts and work for like blankets for the babies and
Mm.
outfits for, because different for people, couture, like somebody say, "I want an outfit made like this, can you do it?" And I'll look at it and say, "Well, I could do that." So at the present, I'm making an outfit for one of my friends. So she said, "Girl, I want this outfit."
So
So
you
she
feel like you're living like
money
your
for the thread, and that's what I'm doing. I'm creating an outfit for.
so you feel like you're right now you're in your dream career right now.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is your mother and father's full name?
My mother's name is Janny Malcolm Hall, and my father's name is Lev Nathaniel Ross Jr.
Fascinating. He's a junior.
Yes, he's a junior.
Fascinating. What was your fondest memory with your father?
Um, one one summer, no, it was for my birthday, and he asked me what I wanted, and I told him some roller derby skates, and so he acted like he didn't get them, and he acted like he was mad at me. "Girl, what you doing? You?" And then when I came in, just said "Happy birthday," and then presented me with the skates, and I'm like, "Yes."
How
So
young
yeah,
were you?
that was my fondest memory of him.
How young were you? What birthday was it?
Ooh, I was like 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so awesome. What was your fondest memory with your mother? Wait, what did you call your father growing up?
Daddy,
What did you call your mother growing up?
mama.
So what was your fondest memory with mama?
Oh, let me see. Cause it was so many with her. Let me see.
Oh,
Oh, she used to make our clothes for Easter. And this one particular Easter, she made us some everybody had on blue and white. And she made us these outfits. They were so cute. I thought I was just sharp in
uh,
that outfit. And
how young were you?
tell me nothing. Yeah, that was it right there.
How young were you?
I was like 7 or 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Easter outfit. What was your worst memory with your father?
Ooh, let me see. Uh, hmm. Oh, this I had went to what was that, Washington, with Alethea and them's dad,
Washington State,
and he
Washington
was in the
D.C.
army.
Is
Huh?
Washington State or Washington D.C.?
Washington State,
Was it like
Tacoma.
Seattle? Oh, Tacoma.
Yeah, Tacoma, SeaTac, Seattle, Tacoma. There is an army base there,
Yeah.
and so he did some stuff, and I had to come back to LA, and so I had to leave all of my stuff there and come back out here and take care of what the business. And then I asked my dad, I said, will you come back with me, and so I can get the rest of my clothes and all of my things and bring them back to California? He said, no, I'm on strike right now, and I got to stay here in case they call me back, which he was on strike. So why couldn't you just help me in my time of need? And he just said, no, I can't do it.
Mm.
And I lost everything. I'm like, oh, man. Because my mom asked me, I talked to my mom first, and she said, well, ask your dad and see what
Yeah.
he say. Ask your father. And he just said, no, I ain't gonna do it. I can't help you.
How young were you?
Ooh, I was like early 20s.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Have you forgiven him for that?
Yeah, I have. It took me a minute though, but yeah. Yeah, I forgave him for that.
What
I'm
was your
like,
worst? What was your worst memory with Mama?
oh, when I first got pregnant with Rue, my oldest son, and um I thought my sister had told, and I told her that I wanted to tell my mom myself, but she, like, moms know those things. So
Sure.
then I heard her on the phone telling her friend,
Yeah.
but I didn't tell her not to tell anybody, but I just overheard her talking, and then uh, I felt that I couldn't trust her anymore with my confidentiality. So that made me stop talking, not only to her, but to my sisters and everybody around me. I felt like, okay, if I don't tell them nothing, then they can't hurt me with nothing. So
Wow.
yeah,
Have you forgiven her for that?
yes, yes.
Hmm.
And that just recently, the Holy Spirit just recently brought that to my attention uh on this past trip that we had to Arizona, and stuff didn't go right, but me and my sister Dina and
Being that this is going to be permanent, just briefly talk about this.
uh,
Briefly talk about what is this trip to Arizona you're talking about?
well, the trip was my granddaughter Ariana is she's having her first child, and it's a girl, and
Can you imagine her being 50 something watching this? So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and
Mhm.
we were invited to her baby shower.
Oh,
So our communication was really, really bad. And when we got to the airport, we didn't have a ride. And um, so we was there, but we got a ride from my grandson, and we spent some time with him. And then
which
when the
grandson?
baby shower finally came,
Which grandson gave you the ride?
my oldest grandson, Ruben.
Oh,
And when we finally got to the baby shower, we we were so hungry that we went and got something to eat. And instead of eating our food on the way from the restaurant, we stopped. When we got to Ari's house, we ate it. We was eating in the car, and then she came out
Where'd you guys get food from?
from the Sonic restaurant, from the the drive-through,
Yeah.
and so because we thought the food wasn't ready, because we got information from Keela, that my niece, that the food wasn't ready yet, and we like, oh my God. Everybody was so hungry, so we said it's not right to go in there with bags of food, so we just gonna eat this right quick and then go in there. But Ari came out and she blasted us and said we were rude and all of that, and then but we didn't blow up on her. We just let her vent, and she said what she said, but that didn't turn out well. But the next day was better
Sure.
because everybody vented and we got to the root of the situation, and we said, okay, we're going to have better communications. We're not going to be dependent on what somebody else is telling us. We're going to call and get the information ourselves from whoever we need to get the information from.
And you're saying we, who's we?
Like, okay, it was, well, me personally, because I could have called Ari and I could have called Jan myself and found out what was really going on, instead of going on by what somebody else was telling us.
And what about transportation from the airport in
Oh,
Arizona?
we have our own transportation.
You're saying
Because
we. Who's we?
my sister, because it was my sister Adina and my son Ruben, his girlfriend Tamika.
Gotcha.
We three went together. So what, at the beginning we were planning on renting a car, but then when uh Tamika went to try to rent a car, it was like $1,000 for 3 days, and we like, well, that's way too much money for a weekend. So we could have driven down there, which we started to do from the beginning, but Amate, Dina's niece, had
Daughter.
got some cheap tickets, so we said, and uh, my sister wanted to fly, so we said, okay, let's fly down there and rent the car, but they just skyjacked the prices, so
Yeah.
that just fell
For
apart.
the
So not
for the
only having one car was a hindrance for
for
everybody.
the gotcha. For the record, you mentioned that Amate is Adina's niece.
Amate is Adina's oldest daughter, my niece.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
And so in that you were reminded about your worst memory with your mother.
Because when we got back home, Tamika and my sister Dina and I, we were just talking about life, and just talking about life, pregnancies and men that was in our life and all of that.
Yeah.
And we what to go back, we have women's meeting with Alethea and Jan, my daughters, and Adina, my sister, and her daughters, Amate and Keela, and we were partnered up with uh, a person. So my person was Jan. So we just started talking and stuff, and she was telling me that I needed to get to the root of why I stopped talking to the family members and stuff. So I just was thinking about that and going over in my head, okay, where did it really start from? And as we were talking at Tamika's house, the Holy Spirit said, there you go, here it is. This is when it happened, when you were pregnant and you felt betrayed and you felt you couldn't, nobody could hold your confidence anymore. So just that's when you stop talking. It was then. So yeah,
Fascinating.
I was glad that I had that breakthrough. I'm like, oh my God, that's where it started.
Fascinating.
Well, just switching gears a little bit, but still talking about like childhood and stuff.
Uh-huh.
What was your favorite thing about being a child?
Oh, I felt we were rich. I felt we were rich, yeah, because we would look at the other children around us and they wouldn't have shoes or whatever. And they would always come to our house to eat. And we always had more than enough. And we had that unconditional love from my mom. So I just felt like we were rich.
You don't feel like you had unconditional love from your father or love from your dad?
My dad was more like putting fear in us. Like, you better do this and you better do that. And if you don't do this, I'm going to beat your butt. And yeah, he was more like
were you afraid of your dad growing up?
Yes. Yes.
Have you stopped being afraid?
Yes.
When did you stop being afraid of your dad?
Oh, when I got pregnant.
When did you get pregnant?
That was when I was 15.
After 15, you stopped being afraid of your father.
Stop being afraid of him.
What was it?
It was like, okay, I'm having my own child now, so you can't use those scare tactics that you once used on me. They just don't work anymore.
Why?
Because well, I'm no longer I realize you just doing a lot of talking and you bluffing, that you really don't not gonna do what you said you're not gonna just beat me down anymore, and I'm not gonna allow you to beat me anymore. So I'm not gonna allow you to give me any more whoopings, because you're not here with us in the first place. You come in and out when you get rid, if you want to show off, like you got a new car or you got a new girlfriend or somebody, and then you want to come around and say what you have, but you're not doing anything to instill in me what I should not be doing, or what to expect from the males. That wasn't taught to us. Like, you should be careful because be on the lookout for boys, because this is what they want. That wasn't, my dad didn't teach us that.
Was your mother and father married growing up?
They were.
Did they
They
have?
were.
Do you know if they had a monogamous relationship?
My mom did, but my dad didn't.
You said he would come around and brag about and show off his girlfriends.
Yeah, he would.
Elaborate.
Um, well, this one particular time where I would thought he was gonna, you know, tell my sister and I about boys and what to expect. He uh came and told us, well, I'm seeing this uh girl and that girl, and they were our friends that he was messing around with. I'm messing around with Clarice. I'm messing around with Gloria. And I'm like,
How old
really?
were you? How young were you?
Um, that was uh like around 12, 13.
You were 13 years old, and you had your friends Clarice and Gloria was also 13 and 12 years old.
Yeah. Well, Clarice was it was older than us. She wasn't our friend, but she was just one of the young girls in the neighborhood. But Gloria was our friend. Yeah.
Gloria was 13 and 12 years old.
Right.
And your married father was telling you that he was intimate with your 13 or 12-year-old friend.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, I started hating him. I actually started hating him then.
In hindsight, how does that make you feel today at
Ooh.
62?
Well, it's like, okay. It still doesn't make me feel good, but that the hatred is not there.
What is there?
It's like, okay, I don't understand why you did it, but I this is my mom, she instilled in us that that's your dad no matter what. So you have to love him because that's your dad. So no
Fascinating.
matter what he does, you still have to love him. So I love him, but I don't like what he does or how he acts. I don't like that.
What does love mean to you?
Ooh, to honor, uh, to care about deeply, um, what to respect, um, yeah.
Do you feel like your father loved you?
When I was a little girl, I felt like up until the time he told me he was messing around with our friends, I felt he loved me. Then when he divulged that to us, I didn't.
So you felt like your father stopped loving you at 13 or 12 years old.
Yeah,
Do you feel like your father loves you now?
I really don't know. I really don't know because the the one incident that I had with him when I came back to California because I was living in Sacramento. He said
When?
his wife was dying
When were you living in
and that
Sacramento?
yes, I was living in Sacramento, California.
When were you living in Sacramento?
When, from like 2006 to 2000, let's say 2000, 2014 2014 or somewhere. Yeah, 2014, 2015, something like
And
that.
where do you live now?
Yeah. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada right now.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we had my husband and I, Jimmy, when we came back to California, we came because my dad said he wanted to see us.
Okay.
And so we was there and he taking care of him, and his wife had died. And so he said, told my husband to take the classes with the caregiver agency, and you could be his he can be his caregiver. And he asked us to move in.
And this is 2014.
No, this is like 2000, because we stayed in Lancaster for some time, but this was like 2018, I believe, 2018.
So
And
2018, you and your husband
yeah,
were Jimmy Bray, right?
yeah, yes,
We're living in Lancaster in 2018, and
yes,
you were also caring for your father in Los Angeles, California, at the same time.
yeah. No, actually, we had came uh from Lancaster, and we were staying with Jan
In
in
what city?
Torrance. And not in Torrance, because y'all live in Torrance, in Los Angeles.
Correct.
Los Angeles. So uh
So in
he
2018, you and your husband Jimmy were living with your first daughter, Jan, in Los Angeles,
yes, right,
and you went to go visit your father in Los Angeles,
right,
and you had
right.
glimpses of him possibly loving you because
Because he said to say, I love you and I want to see you, and uh I need your help, and your sister needs your help to help take care of him.
and you
So
felt like he loved you again,
yeah. So
and he stopped
that's what
loving you from like the age of 13 to 12, and you felt like he was loving you again because he told you he loved you and he was asking for your help.
right,
Fascinating. Like he cares for
right,
you a lot, he respects you, and he, what else was love? You said it care for you a lot and respects you and honors you. He like he was
right,
honoring you again.
right.
Fascinating. And
But
so what about now?
after we got there, he started telling people lies that my sister and I was poisoning him, and we was trying to take his money. And he would call my brother Levi up and say, tell him, well, they taking my money and they trying to poison me, and they won't give me my medicine. And I'm like, okay. And so he got my brother Levi to write up a restraining order against my sister and me. And he filed the one on my sister first. And the police came out there and escorted her out. And then I said,
Wait, the police
told him,
actually
I'm like,
escorted your sister out?
yes. The police escorted her out, told her to get whatever she can grab, and she have to leave the premise. I'm like, how can you do this to us? How can you do this? And he said, well, if you don't like it, you could leave too. I'm like, okay.
But that still wasn't, but that memory still wasn't worse than him not helping you with the Tacoma Seattle move.
Say that again.
But that memory still wasn't
Uh,
worse than the experience you had with him with the Tacoma and the Seattle move?
No, no, it wasn't. Not for me.
I hear you.
But since he didn't want me there, I said, and I was telling him, well, you know that we moved into your house expecting
Upon
to
request.
be here, and we don't have uh, a home of our own right now because we moved in with you. I don't care. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
And don't come back. I'm like, okay.
So today, and March 28th, 2021, Sunday, do you feel like your father loves you?
No, I don't.
Is your
I
father still
don't.
alive today?
Yes, he is. He's
How's his
in
health?
the his health is poor. His health is poor. He's in the Veterans Hospital in Westwood.
Mm.
So he told me to get out of his house and don't come back.
Have you seen
So
him? Have you seen him in the hospital in Westwood?
I haven't personally been down there to see him. I just seen the pictures that my brother Levi has sent me. I've seen.
How do you feel? How do you feel about the fact that you feel like your father doesn't love you and his health is poor?
Well, I feel like I'm respecting his wishes. He told me to get out and that he didn't want to have nothing to do with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna respect your wishes. I'm gonna respect your wishes.
When last time you spoke with him?
Ooh, who was that? Probably 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
So all of
personally, yeah.
so all of
Personally,
2020 and COVID, you didn't speak with him.
I haven't spoken with him. No, I haven't. Because the attempts that were made to speak to him, he didn't want to speak to he didn't want to speak to me. So I'm
What
like,
were
I
those
can't,
attempts? What attempts are you talking about?
like, not me personally, but when my sister Adina, we were there and we're in a spot and say, okay, I'm gonna call dad and try to connect with them.
So you never
Uh,
called him.
I never called them. I was just there when my sister was trying to uh was calling and trying to get the because he was in a nursing home
So have you
before
tried to
he
call
went to,
him since
yeah,
2019? Have you tried to call
yeah.
him?
Have I?
Have you tried to call him
No, I haven't.
since
I haven't.
2019?
No, I haven't. I haven't personally tried to call.
So it's not if, but when he dies, how do you think you're gonna feel
I
if he
don't know.
died today?
I would have mixed emotions. Uh, I I would I would feel, like I would grieve because that is my father. But on the other hand, he kicked me out and said he didn't want to see me. So I'm like, okay.
Let me. So have you
Mm.
forgiven him?
I have. I have because yeah, that's something that I needed to do. I'm like, okay, I can't change the way you feel. So, but I'm gonna respect your wishes. And and I have to protect my heart from him, because it's like he turns. You think he'll tell you all this good stuff. Oh, I love you in 1 minute, and next minute, get out of here. I can't stand you and stuff like that. So I have to protect my heart from that type of, from the ups and downs and the extremes that he takes you through. So
And you honestly felt like he stopped loving you from the age of 12 to like about maybe 60.
yes,
Fascinating.
I believe he would just say stuff just because that's what he thought I wanted to hear. I never really felt that he really and truly loved me,
Honored
because
you, respect
he
you,
didn't.
care for you a lot.
Yeah, didn't show me that, because even when I would, at one time, I called and asked him, would he help me out with Alethea? She wanted to go to a cosmetology school or whatever, and I asked for his assistance. And then he came up with some type of, oh, your sister needs my help more than you do, and I want her to do it this way. She has to do it this way, and if she don't do it this way, then I can't help her. I'm
Mm,
like, okay,
fascinating.
okay. So like,
Hmm.
don't didn't hasn't really showed me real love.
Mm. Um, we'll probably revisit that in some kind of way. I don't know. But okay. What, well, I'll just ask you, what was your favorite job that you ever had?
The medical records clerk,
Why?
because I was really good at that, and I liked putting the charts together and helping with the patients and the doctors, and uh, the whole concept of copy the records and send them out to whoever they need to go to. And just because the medical records was a vital part, is a vital part of uh, the health center, and just being there and able to uh, get what the people need at vital times, like in cases of emergencies, they come to certain people that they know is gonna help and go be above and beyond what they need to find what they're looking for. So it gave me a real good sense of gratification. And the people there were, developing those friendships with different people.
It is, man.
It was it was a good thing.
Wonderful. Tell us about a time when you felt the most powerful.
Oh, when I was actually working with the medical records department, and I was at their Compton office, and it
Mm,
was just me there, and I
that was
was
just
handling.
you. You were the
Yeah, it was
whole
just
medical
me.
records department.
Right. And they had made that, they was making a move into transferring a gang of charge from one place to the other, and so, and they was changing their system from they had what they call a family numbering system and they was switching it over to a terminal digit system, and everybody didn't know how to convert those numbers. So
you did?
I was one of those persons that grasped it and knew how to convert those numbers and set up the charts
Wow.
the right way. And so they would call me. They called me to go to the Crenshaw office and help finish putting their system, their charts, converting their
Wow.
charts over.
How
So,
young were you during this time?
I was in my 40s. Yeah, and they had, when they had the audits, the place where like the Compton office, they actually passed the audit because of my knowledge of the medical records and how I what I told them and what I explained to them, and they was, they said, yeah, they gave me my props. They said, yeah, because of what Bathsheba did, she gave us that push to pass the audit. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
That is wonderful. So do you still feel powerful today?
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
Where's your power today?
My power today, because I went through this time in my life where I didn't have a place, because the owner in Sacramento had the property, had sold their property, and we had to move. So we was going from place to place. But now I have my place, and I'm stable, and I'm I'm able to keep up my bills and have food on my table, and I'm getting past the loss of my husband. So I'm in a good place. My we have a good relationship with our church members. My sister is here with me now, and our relationship is closer and tighter, and so it's a good place for me. It's a
But
real good place for me.
do you feel powerful?
That I'm not floating back and forth anymore. I'm in control, and I have the ability to get things done that I need to get done, and so I'm not dependent on other people and a place to lay my head. So I feel I have the power to take care of myself.
What does power mean to you?
Strength and ability, authority, capability.
Is there a difference between independence and power?
I think independence makes you powerful.
So you believe they're synonymous?
Yeah, they work hand in hand with each other. Yeah.
So you believe you're independent?
I am. I can be more, because I have the tendency to like the baby shower thing. I went on what the people were telling me instead of getting the information. I got the information secondhand instead of calling and getting the information firsthand. So
So
I'm
you felt
working
like
on that part of me.
you
I'm
thought you
working.
had dependent tendencies in Arizona?
Yes, yes, because I didn't have my own transportation, and that was the biggest problem right there. If I had my own transportation, I could have been where I needed to be when at the time I
So,
needed to be there.
so you didn't feel powerful in Arizona.
I didn't.
So
I
do
didn't.
you feel like you're independent in Las Vegas?
Yes,
So you feel powerful in Las Vegas.
yes, yes.
Fascinating.
What was your first traveling experience? Just in life, like going outside of California.
Uh, Going to Alabama.
When was that?
Ooh, uh, it was like when we were like, I say 10,
Oh wow.
10, 11. My mom used to take us to Alabama in the summer.
Did
It's
you
like
take a
every other,
plane?
no, we would ride on the train.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was like every other summer we would go out to Alabama and spend like a month or two in
Wow.
Alabama.
So your first time out of California was a train ride to Alabama,
Yes.
and you were like 10 and you stayed for a month?
Yeah.
Like 67.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We did we we didn't like it at first, but because there's a big difference from Alabama and Los Angeles. So we had to really get used to the country versus the city.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tremendous difference. We didn't even know we were in downtown when we were in it. We was like, when we gonna get to downtown? My wife said, we're here. We said, oh no, the buildings.
You guys were
Like,
in Shorter?
what?
You guys were in the city of Shorter?
We were in Montgomery.
The big city. One of the big cities.
It's supposed to have been the big city, yeah.
Birmingham, they call Birmingham the big city, but Montgomery is one of the big cities, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Now Shorter was just country to the straight country to us because
Oh,
she
it still
had some
is. Oh, it
people in
still is.
Shorter. It's like, okay.
2021, it still is. Trust me. No, it still is.
No
We're there like 30 years
sidewalks.
ago.
We like, what happened to the sidewalks?
No street lights. It's just dark. When it's dark,
Right.
yeah. It's just nighttime.
So, when did you start to enjoy those trips? Did you ever start to enjoy those trips?
Ooh. Well, we got as we were there, and we got a little routine going on because my mom used to let us go to the my uncle had a theater.
Which one?
So
What's his name? Your uncle who?
Uncle Hyman.
Okay.
Uncle
And
Hyman.
who's
Yeah.
who was his sister or brother
T
that made
Fanny.
him your uncle?
Well, he was married to my mom's aunt, Fanny Judkins. And
so what's his name? Hyman Judkins?
yes.
Huh.
Yes. So that's how he was our uncle.
So he was
And
like your great uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Huh.
And he had a theater, a walk-in theater, and that made the trip better because we had something to do. Otherwise, we were just there at the house messing
Do
around
you
with
remember
the.
any of the movies you've seen in the theater?
Oh no,
Any? Not
no,
one of them.
no.
That would have been
I
funny.
don't remember none of those movies.
1967, girl.
So, okay,
I
one
just
one quick question. T. Fanny, you said he was married
Uh-huh.
to T. Fanny.
yes,
Now, what does the T stand for?
auntie.
Oh,
Oh, her name was Fanny.
Her name was Fanny. Yep.
like Fannie Lou Hamer.
Do you know her whole name or no?
I just know it was Fanny Judkins. I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Fascinating.
hmm
And that was grandmother's aunt on her mom's side or her dad's side?
Her dad's side.
Her dad's side. So that was her dad's sister.
Sister. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then Uncle Hyman, she married him.
Right.
Then he became part of the family.
Right.
This is a name I've been hearing my whole life and I never
Cool.
wrote down.
What's wrong?
Uncle Hyman?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Ever talked about
T.
him?
Fanny and Uncle Hyman. I'd be like, I mean, they feel like family. I just didn't know how they connect on
How
the
do
tree.
you?
Wow,
Exactly. You know?
that's cool.
Mhm.
So he had a theater. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So
Yeah.
have you ever traveled internationally?
No.
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 Would you like to?
Yes.
Or is there anywhere that you would like to go that is on your list of places I know that I want to go here and it's out of the country?
Yes. I really want to go to Australia.
Okay. Why Australia?
Uh, I like the way they talk, and I like the animals. I want to see the animals,
Which one?
up close.
Which one?
All of them, and like the kangaroos, the koalas.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Cool. So let's take it to education. What kind of student would you say you were like in grade school? Like in elementary and junior high and high school specifically. What kind of student was Bathsheba?
Bathsheba was a good student. She was an A and B student. I didn't like to get two C's, but every now and then I would get one. I got two D's in my whole life, and that's because I didn't understand algebra so good. And in the English one time, I just didn't do what I was supposed to do, and that just hurt my heart, boy.
What? When did you start going to school? Preschool, kindergarten, or?
Uh, Kindergarten, I started going to school, but
Do you remember the name of kindergarten?
yeah, 92nd Street School,
What city?
Los Angeles.
And then what about elementary?
That was the same. They had the kindergarten at 92nd Street School,
All the way to what grade?
all the way to 6.
And then where'd you go to middle school or junior high?
Markham Junior High School,
What city?
Los Angeles.
Still A's and B's.
Yep.
And then what high school you go to?
I went to Jordan High School, and then I
What's
went
what's the
to
full name?
David Starr Jordan.
Hmm. And what city?
Los Angeles.
Still A's and B's.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. Huh.
Dang, I was gonna ask a question.
Yep.
Did you ever want to go to college?
Yes, I did.
Did you finish
Yes, I did.
high school? I know you were pregnant at 15.
Yeah, I finished high school. I went to
High school
where they
diploma
had
or GED?
schools. I got my diploma. They had schools for the girls who got pregnant. So I went to that school,
What school is that?
and I I graduated from Fremont Adult School.
Huh.
They
Was
had
that was that was that because you were pregnant at 15?
yes.
So at 15 from LA Jordan, you then transferred to Fremont Adult School?
I transferred to the school. I don't even remember the name that they had for the pregnant girls. I, and I finished out the semester there. And then I had to take care of my son. So after that, I went to Fremont Adult School and graduate. They had a one called a
Fascinating.
satellite at the House of Uhuru
Oh
where
yeah,
my mom
yeah,
worked.
yeah, yeah.
So I went there and finished
High school.
high school, yeah. And I had to take one night class from biology. So I catch the bus and went to the Fremont, the not the spinoff, but Fremont High School at night, and I finished the biology.
And
And
what?
yeah, I graduated at they had the actual graduation at Fremont High School.
So your diploma is from Fremont High School.
Right.
Fascinating.
Hmm.
Did you know all that?
Mm-mm.
Fascinating. You don't know, you don't ask. Fascinating. Yeah, that's awesome. That's you high school. I mean, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Just working it
That's a
out.
lot going. Yeah, it's a lot going
So
on.
where was
Yeah.
Rue when you were? Where was your son? Your first son when you were doing night school?
Well, my sister was my babysitter.
Oh.
And she was
Yeah.
at what high school was Undine Dane at?
She graduated from Jordan.
So she was just babysitting, going to Jordan, and then babysitting, going to Jordan, babysitting, going to Jordan.
Yep.
That's so cool. That's so cool. That's awesome.
Wow. Okay.
Fun facts.
What is the highest education that you've reached? Like after high school, you did what educational wise?
I did a couple of courses uh, from the medical record tech, but I didn't. No, I didn't complete that program.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Mm.
I also went to UEI, a computer school,
Mm-hmm.
just to get the basics of because we were switching over to the computer. So just to get the basic knowledge of computers, I went to that school, and I graduated from that school.
Hmm.
So do you have like a higher level degree?
Well, it was more like a certificate program. It
Gotcha.
wasn't a degree.
So the highest degree is just a high school diploma?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm. Do you still have a desire to for formal education, for higher education?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do.
You better
What
get
is
it,
there a
mama.
certain subject or a certain
Um,
school? What would you like to
what
learn in a higher education environment?
Well, I still like the medical records because they have transformed them into what is it, on computerized stuff.
Yeah, they call them.
But
It's called EMR, electronic medical records.
yeah, but you still need to people still need their medical records from different places. So that part is still needed, and all the time you can't get it from the computer sometimes because they go back so far. So they still have to have an archival system somewhere.
So that's
And
what you would like to do. You would like to pick back up with that.
yes.
Oh, interesting.
Or we had the union, and so I was a union rep,
Mm-hmm.
and so we had to go on strike one time, and that was so much fun to me. So,
Why? What made that so much fun?
it empowered you. It let us know
Mm,
that they need you, because
mm,
these administrators, they some of them know what you know, but the majority of them don't. They
mm,
need that labor. So, and they was like, okay, don't stand on the sidewalk. And I'm like, okay, if I'm standing on the sidewalk, now what?
Be mindful of your
Okay.
camera,
And,
mama.
and, and we were able
Mama,
to
be mindful
speak
of
to
your
them
camera.
without being afraid of,
wait,
you
mama,
can't
no,
fire me.
wait. Oh, you got it.
Huh?
So your thumb was on the kind of
Oh, my
halfway on
thumb. Oh, okay.
It's all good. It's
Yeah, we were
awesome.
able, they said, you could talk to them just like you're talking to somebody on the street. They don't have the power to fire you. Like, okay. Like, how you doing in there in the medical records?
That's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was fun to me. And going to the different people that support you, like the congressmen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we got to know that part because we went to the different congressmen's office and told them what our demands were, and getting them to back us, and then going to the different churches and getting them to back us. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
letting the people know exactly what they were fighting for.
Mm-hmm. So this is
And then,
something that you want to get back into.
yeah, I would like to get into that part.
Interesting.
That
Okay.
yeah, the organization to let the people know that you're the union and you have power, whether you know it or not. You have rights.
Have you looked into the union in Las Vegas and the medical records demands in Las Vegas or anything like that?
I haven't really looked in the for the medical records, but I did look for the union, and the basic thing was that I needed a car. So I have a car now, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to get I have a what's called a dorsal column stimulator because I had and it's for my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I I damaged the nerves and the bones of my shoulders. So I have an implant that sends electrical impulses to my shoulders so they won't because the brain misfires. So those electrical impulses uh, will send the right impulses to where they need to go.
Mm.
And so I have to get that system replaced. So once I do that, then because I don't want to start something and then I have to be off and take time to recover. I want to just go at it full force and not have that type of situation.
I hear you.
Mm.
A
Okay.
break in what I'm doing. I just want to be able to go forth.
Okay. Well, we're gonna pivot just a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what are your spiritual beliefs?
I believe in God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Just like that.
That they created the heavens and the earth, and they created mankind, and we messed it up. Mankind messed up the whole system. So he sent his son, the living word, to straighten out everything. And because his son Jesus came to die for our sins, but then he rose again with all power. So, but he didn't leave us when he went back to his father. He left us the Holy Spirit. So now his Holy Spirit lives in us, and he gives us the power to accomplish our purposes in life.
So what is your purpose in life?
Well, my purpose is to teach and to give uh, wisdom and knowledge about my life, and I hope that it deters the things that did wrong, would deter my children and my children's children from making those same mistakes. And to he gave me a voice to sing, so I love music. So uh, that's one of my things that I do in my church, is sing in the choir. And he gave me a talent to work with my hands, and so that's in the
When
knitting and crocheting.
when did you discover your purpose?
Ooh, let me see.
To teach, as you just said, to teach, to share your story of your life with people and your children. When did you discover that purpose?
I just discovered, well, the teaching part I've known like since, like, I say really in 2006, really, about the teaching part. I realized that I've been a teacher since I've been in the kindergarten. Because my mom, whenever my sister did something, alphabets or numbers or whatever, I said, I have to do it. Where's mine? I need to know my name. What do it look like? How do I write it?
Mama, real quick, when you say teach what?
Teach, let's see, like the word. I could if the Bible, I was a Sunday school teacher. Teach
But
I haven't taught anybody how to, huh?
Specifically because you said teach your children
Yeah.
about
Okay.
your life. This was the answer you gave in your purpose.
Well, to teach them like when you teach them the basics, like reading and writing, like teaching them how to drive, teaching them
who's them?
My children. Not what my girls, mainly my girls are, teaching them how to drive, teaching them to have work ethics, to go out and learn how to accomplish your goal and what you want to do in life, whether it's.
And how do you teach this? how do
What,
you
by showing them like for like with you and Jan, I brought them to work and I actually showed them how to how you read a terminal digit number and how do you go to the the charts and pull out the specific requests that the chart what the doctor is looking for, teaching them how to do that.
Wait, so real quick, so you feel like your purpose in life, like why you were born in October in 1958, was to
Mhm.
teach Jan and Alethea how to drive.
That was just a part of it, but my was to let's see, no, that was just part of the experience, like teaching them not to go out and get pregnant when they're 15.
You taught your daughters that.
Showing them that uh, just through my experience, like this is what you shouldn't do, but on the other hand, you should live your life. You should graduate first. You should get you a job. You should experience all you can experience from school, learning
So real
and
quick,
that
so
type.
so you believe you were born in October in 1958, and the reason why Janie Malcolm Hall gave birth to you in October in 1958 was to teach Jan and Alethea not to get pregnant at 15?
No, I believe
Okay.
that the when that that I was born on October the 28th because my mom, Janie Malcolm Hall,
Yep.
she asked God for
Yep.
2 girls.
Okay.
And so he gave her request. So
So
I was that second girl, the girl that, she wanted to, and that's what he gave her. So
she believed your purpose was just simply to fulfill your mother's request for a girl,
part of it,
and
and
then the
then
rest of it.
to um accomplish to let me see to be the best parent that I knew how to be
Mm.
to my children, and to be the best person that I could be.
Now that's rich, and
and
that's
that you
awesome.
feel like is your purpose?
Yes, to
You were put on this earth to
to
be the
be the
best
best.
parent.
Yeah, to be the best that I can possibly be.
Parent.
Yes, the best parent that I could possibly be.
So your
The
purpose is
best.
fulfilled through
Yeah.
parenting.
Yes, for
Beautiful.
parenting and part of it and through
Yeah.
working to be the best, because that's what my mom instilled in us, to
So
just
so so your
whatever you
purpose
do, be the best.
so your purpose isn't so much fulfilled through parenting, but just the best period.
Yeah,
But parenting
yes, to be
primarily.
parenting was because I that was the biggest part, because that parenting, it doesn't end because your children
Over the
are
age of 18.
it's a lifetime thing. So
That's amazing.
you have to continue to I have to continue to strive to be the best example of a parent that I can be for them.
What about grandparent
That too, I
and great grandparent?
fall short in that area because
Mm.
of things that happen, and I don't have the access to my grandchildren. They're like one's in Arizona, those in Arizona, those in LA. And that's one of the reasons why I came up here to Vegas too, because my grandson and his children were here, but then they moved to Arizona. I'm like, oh wow.
So when's the last time you spoke to Rue,
When we was in Arizona,
your son?
you talking about Lil Rue,
Your
my
son.
grandson,
Your son.
my son. Oh, him, my son. Last week I talked to him. Last week,
How?
yeah. On the phone. I talked to him on the phone.
When last time you
He,
talked to Little Rue before Arizona?
when Jimmy died, my husband, when he died, that was the last time I talked to him.
How?
On the phone. He called me on the phone.
So you can still talk to your grandchildren, right?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Gotcha.
So,
But the access is, but you mean
yeah,
access
that's
like physical access, all right?
right.
Sure.
So yeah, that's the part that I'm working on. I talked to Malik like a couple of weeks ago. I talked to him.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's my part that I have to do better on, with keeping in contact with my getting establishing a relationship with my grandchildren.
I want to.
Quick question. What do you believe you inherited from your mom?
Ooh, her calmness, the way she was able to listen to people and not just fly off the handle, but to listen to what's going on with a person, and her her intelligence, the way she handles especially her work ethics, how she say you could do it, you know, go forth, and even if the people are around you are like the buses was on strike, you still have to go to work. So find a way to hold on to this job and be the best you can be. Um, her calmness is one of the things that I really uh, grasp from her, because when her and my dad used to have these heated arguments, she would just sit there and say, "Yes, Nathaniel," and she would never raise her voice. And even when she had her heart attack, and she was sitting in the emergency room, she was just sitting there, and she was just so calm, and all she was saying was, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." I'm like, oh, that's
Let
just to
me
be
ask,
calm in extreme situations.
And you
yeah.
see that in yourself.
Yes.
And you have said, we know that your father is still alive, but he is
Yes.
close to death.
Yes. As far as I know, yeah. Yes.
What have you inherited from him, from your dad?
Oh, the one thing that I really appreciate him doing was when he instilled in us to, when you're talking to someone, to look them in their face, right in the middle of the forehead. It said, look them right there in the middle of their forehead, because um, the people down south, well, in slavery time, when the black people especially, you couldn't look a white person in their face. You had to look down and step on the in the street when they're walking by and all this kind of stuff. But he said, no, whenever you talk to somebody, you look them in their face, and you don't, if you don't want to look them in the eyes, you look them in the middle of their forehead. Make sure that you have their attention and they have your attention. So yeah, that's the the one thing that I appreciate him instilling in us.
And you see that in yourself.
Yes.
That's awesome. In terms of your spiritual beliefs, we'll come back to that actually. Yeah, they came from. So, what are your political beliefs?
Well, I'm in the Democratic Party, because I feel that they're more people oriented. They care more about what the people want versus the Republican Party, and they're more focused on uh, riches. They do more for people that have money, and the Democratic Party wants to uh, do more for people in general.
Hmm. Where did your understanding of Republicans and Democrats come from?
Um, just from what I've experienced, I didn't do any, any really research to
62.
in the party itself to see how they came along and how they were established. I just in general, how the people were treated by with the Democrat, how the Democratic Party would treat people, and how the Republic Party would treat
So,
people in
so,
general.
so
That's
when you
all.
say you learned this, you got this your opinion from your experiences. Elaborate on your experiences.
Well, like voting, uh, when they when the black people in general, African American, first got the right to vote, the Democratic Party, they actually came out to the house and got us
Do you remember that?
involved. And
Do you remember when you got the right to vote?
yes,
How young
because
were
I
you?
didn't realize that they were voting for the first time.
How
I
young were
just
you?
I was like, ooh, I say about 7 or 8 or something like that.
Damn.
But but I didn't know that was their first time voting. I thought this just went on all the time, but they actually came out and took the people to the polls, and you know got them registered, and came back out to get them and took them to vote. And they actually had the families going door to door and say, are you registered to vote? And they gave them a little money, like $5 or $10 for going out to do it, to helping them get the people registered. So
You got a job and vote?
That was my first experience with voting itself, and it was a Democratic Party. It was the Republican Party didn't. They just didn't do that, but the Democrats did that. So,
Fascinating.
mhm.
Well, where does your spiritual beliefs come from?
It was instilled to me by my mom. Yeah, she
Did you independently do any research in that?
I have now go back and look,
Where?
but like on Google, and I look in I have different books, and so I different types of Bibles. So
What are you
I've
looking
done
for?
what?
What are you looking for? When you said you look on
Just
Google, you look in
to
books.
see if they're all saying the same thing.
Who is they? Who is they?
All the books, I'm talking about the books themselves. They're all talking about the same thing.
So you talking about like the different books of the Bible, like the New Living Translation versus the New International Version versus the King James Version?
Yeah, because
Okay,
the
tell us all the
King
Bible.
James version have the these and thous, so it's harder to understand that type.
Sure.
But that's the type we grew up with. So
Gotcha.
you get the books without the these and thous,
Right.
and it's a better understanding of what they're talking about.
What's your favorite version of the Bible?
Oh, like the New King James translations, or the Amplified version. I like those because they really just,
It's like today's English.
yes, and you could get a real grasp on what
It still
they're
has that poetic King James kind of situation though.
right.
Yeah. I prefer the New Living Translation if you're at, you know. So.
Listen, she didn't.
It's all good. Tell me, what's your take? What's your sentiment on Black Lives Matter?
Ooh, let's see. I I'm I'm all for the call, but I wish they were more organized as a group instead of just going out there as a mass. I wish they had, okay, today we're focusing on this, or this month, like Martin Luther King did. Okay, we're focusing on education right now, the desegregating the schools. We're focusing on voting right now. Um, we're focusing on the buses. We're not going to ride the buses anymore. And they were, solid. Okay, we're okay. And as when they went out to march, they went out. Okay, everybody knew what they were doing, when they were going.
Yeah.
And it was more organized, and they knew why they were doing it, instead of just going out there and being mad because of the police killed somebody, but they didn't have what they wanted from that.
Yeah.
They didn't have a goal behind it. They were just angry. So they was saying, we're gonna stop the traffic, or
Wow.
we're not gonna shop. But what are you trying to accomplish? What's the goal you're trying to accomplish? So they have gotten a better sense of what they want. Like, they want police reform. I say, okay, now that's a good thing. Okay, do your rallies and stuff, and focus on getting police reform. So yeah, when they first started, it was like a real dangerous situation, but
Wow.
they've gotten better now because they're, have their goals and what they want to accomplish.
Fascinating. You said you like their cause. What do you like about them? What's the cause that, according to you and your understanding?
Well, because of the racism, um, they want to be recognized as a people, uh,
They.
and the black people want to be recognized like I exist, and
Mm,
that's what they've been doing since I can remember Martin Luther King. I am a
wow.
man. I am a woman. I'm
Yeah,
not a
boy.
uh a
Amen.
I'm no lesser than you. I'm on the same level as you, so I should have the same privileges and rights as you have. This constitution should work for me just like it works for you. Instead of saying no, it only works for this, it works for this group, but then when a black person comes and say, okay, where's my rights? And they say, no, that don't apply to you because you're not white. So
Fascinating.
yeah.
Tell me, uh, since the George Floyd thing happened last year with the murder at the hands of police, which was really wild. There's been
Hmm.
like this huge wave of like international support and people looking to do something about it. And a lot of
Yeah.
Fortune 100 companies like Amazon and Pfizer, I'm like, big, 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 these are big companies and stuff,
Hmm.
have been getting behind these initiatives. It's typically referred to as like diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. It's often referred to in its acronym as DEI initiatives, et cetera, et cetera. And they've
Hmm.
been hiring a lot of like African American men and women and other minorities to lead these D, E, and I divisions and senior level positions in all these Fortune 500 companies to do something about
Hmm.
this internally.
That's good.
What's your sentiment about that? About what corporations are doing in an answer to this George Floyd stuff?
That's great because they are actually the have set those goals and they're putting them in place. So now the the blacks are being recognized
That's
as a force, like, and being able to obtain those benefits that they only had they had mainly had for the white people, so now they're being able to tap into those benefits because they're being recognized as a people.
Let me ask you something. So, in your experience working for the Watts Health Center, did you
Hmm.
ever feel like you were being held back or couldn't go as high as you wanted to in in your career
Yes.
because of your
Yes.
race?
Because of not because of my race, no.
Mhm.
gender.
No, because that was one of the things that they really focused on. That was, that was in that movement. So
Got you. So, what was the thing that you felt was holding you back from going higher in your career?
mm, let me see. It was mainly because they didn't have the cross training is what didn't and they didn't have the we didn't know where to go to get the additional training to go for.
So it was due to your competence.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah. Not knowing what to do to
What's
reach
your
a higher level. Yeah.
what's your sentiment about Black Republicans?
Mm.
Said it all.
Well, I I wish they would bring more blacks into that group, like reach out to more blacks and really show them
They.
the Republicans. I wish they would reach out to the black people and open up those the things that have been closed down to them, the like the white collar jobs. They might have access to where, okay, this position is opening up. Reach out to more black people and say, I have something that I think will work for you.
And why
And
is
pull
that?
them in.
Why is that in particular something that you think the Republican Party should do?
Well, my experience with the Republican Party is they're more focused on the monies that they have already attained, and they're trying to just attain more monies and not being concerned about uh, who else, the other people, the people that's underneath them.
So
They're
what?
just focused on gain.
So a black Republican in particular, how do you feel about black Republicans in particular?
Let me see.
Republicans who are black, based on what you know about what a Republican is, it's a black person now. So how does that make you feel? What do you think about?
Well, I think that, well, they have turned their back on the black people in general and said, okay, I got mine, you get yours.
Real quick, you believe, I'm asking this question. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Do you believe that Republicans have access to white collar jobs for black people or white collar jobs?
Yeah, I think that they're in the position because
so you believe Republicans have the power to give white collar jobs to black people?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Open up the door, yeah. They
Gotcha.
have that.
And do you know any black Republicans?
No, not personally, I don't.
Gotcha.
The only black Republican that I knew about was the pastor that I had in Sacramento.
Now, what about like on television and in media, like in popular culture? Do you know of any black Republicans like off stuff?
I really, other than who they flash on TV, I really don't.
Like who? Do you know anybody on TV who's a black Republican?
Like this one, I don't even know his name, but I know that Trump had a black Republican in his party, and he got COVID. I don't know his name.
Oh, the dude with the Morehouse alumni who said he. So, but you believe when you think about that black guy who's a Republican, you believe that he turned his back on his people.
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Because he was it was like he was a yes man for Trump. It's like the Republicans now, they all, everything that Trump says, They just go along with it. Even if they see it's a lie, they say, oh no, he didn't mean that. He meant this, that, and the other. Like, can't y'all see that the man is lying? And they just don't want to come to the realization. They just going along with the program.
And again, where did you get your understanding of what are Republicans and the definition of Republican? Where did you get that? Where did you get that understanding from of Republican?
I didn't, like I said, I never even looked up the definition or got the origin of it, how it originated. I just looked at it down through history, where the Republicans mainly were enemies of the black man. So,
well, where did you get that understanding from? Like, where'd that come?
like, from the just from like the documentaries and things you see on TV,
Like what?
about how the slavery in down south, and the the Civil War, and that the people that the Republicans, they were the ones that were for slavery.
Yeah. Really?
So, yeah.
So you believe that Republicans were for slavery?
Yeah, the majority of them, yeah.
And so what about Abraham Lincoln, like the president who freed the slaves?
Well, I think he probably had some slaves in his house. I'm not sure, because I
What
haven't
about
been.
his like political party? You think he was a Democrat?
I think he was a Democrat, but I'm not sure.
Why do you think he was a Democrat?
Because he had more compassion for the black man.
Fascinating. That's fascinating. Okay. Trump. What's your view and understanding? What's your sentiment towards Donald Trump?
I think Donald Trump was the worst president we ever had.
Why?
Basically, because he was a liar.
What did he lie about?
He like the COVID.
Pause
He said,
real quick.
okay,
Pause. Wait. Pause. Pause real quick. Who was your favorite president?
Barack Obama.
Do you think Barack Obama ever lied?
He probably did,
but Trump was our worst president because he lied.
It wasn't blatant. It wasn't just blatant. Like, okay, this thing is the COVID is something that you should try to get on top, not try to bury it and act like, oh, we got this under control and you don't need to worry about nothing. And
yeah. Is there any other reason why you didn't like
United States closed down?
Is there any other reason why you didn't like Trump?
He said he was the best president. He did more for the black people than Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, really?
Is there any other reason why you didn't like Trump?
He was well, his father was a Klan's member. So
where did you get that from?
From I actually read that. I don't know where I read it, but I actually read that. Okay. And it's like,
maybe on Facebook?
It might have been, but it's like he was following in the footsteps of his father.
Yeah. We're gonna move on, Mama. This is my favorite question. Well, a lot of these are my favorite questions. I did that 400 times. This is one of my favorite questions. This is our last formal question. And then we're gonna just kind of just fill it out and see what is what. But remember, this is a memorial conversation. Maybe you remember your granddaughter's name, soon to be born, Ari's daughter.
Yes,
What is it?
it's Aliyah.
So Aliyah, Aliyah, yeah. So she may be watching this when she's in her 50s, when she's your age, maybe in her 60s. So keep that in mind as well.
Okay.
Alethea and I are going to do our very best to kind of maintain the integrity of these videos, edit them, et cetera, et cetera. So keep that in mind as you answer this.
Okay.
You don't have to rush. Take your time or rush, fill it out. Favorite question.
Okay.
What will your family inherit from you? Let me rephrase that. What do you want your family to inherit from you?
Okay. I mainly want them to inherit love, because when you have love, it's the basics. You can forgive. You can, even though you get angry, you won't separate yourself from them. You'll come back and talk to them and find out what went wrong. You be and because God is love. Is if you have love, then you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with love.
And what is love?
Love is, like I said, the caring, the honesty, the integrity. It forgives. It it accepts you for who you are. Um, it's always there, even though the person may not be there. That love that you have, that caring, that concern, how you felt for about them, the honor and respect, it will always be there, even when the person's gone. So yeah, love is the main thing that I.
Mom, what's the difference between loving somebody and being in love with somebody?
Ooh, when you're, let's see. Uh, okay. To me, being in love is more of a partnership between a man and a wife. Uh, that's but today we have different relationships with. But for me, it's between uh, a man and a woman. Um, and you don't necessarily have to be married to them to be in love with them. Like, you want to spend your life with them. You want to see them become the best person they can be. You help them out in whatever their endeavors are. You want to be there to see them accomplish them, and you want to help them in any way that you can to accomplish those goals. You're there for them, whether they're sick, whether they're healthy, whether they're fat, whether they're skinny. Is you don't have no conditions on them. You accept them for who they are, and you want the best for them, no
And
matter
how
what.
and how is that different? How is that different from loving somebody?
Well, you can um, love somebody because of who they are. Like,
Conditional love.
yeah,
So
like
loving is conditional.
because that's my dad, I have love for him, but I'm
So
not in love with
so loving is conditional, and being in love is unconditional.
Yeah, to me, yeah.
Fascinating. So do you love yourself?
Yes,
How do
yes.
you know you love yourself?
Be, because I continue to strive to do to make myself become better. I um I I care for me. I want uh I want the best for me. Uh I love the way I look. Uh I I love the person that I'm developed because it's a constant thing.
Yeah.
If you see yourself lacking in one area, you say, okay, I got to work. I'm working on that because I love you. I want you to be the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now you said love is conditional. Under what conditions do you love yourself? And under what conditions do
Well,
you not love yourself?
well, when I say love is conditional, I just mean that uh because of who you are. Like uh I love I try to showing love to, like, I care for somebody walking down the street and if they're in trouble, you know, if you can help. But uh that's showing love. But let's
Okay.
see, but for myself, I want to love myself unconditionally. I don't want to have no limits on the love that I have for myself. I'm gonna love you when you're doing good, and I'm not gonna love you when you're not doing so well. I want
Oh,
to
you're so you're so
love
you're
myself no matter what state I'm in.
so you're in love with yourself.
Right, right.
Are you in love with Alethea?
Yes.
Huh.
But yeah, but she's not because a parent and a child love is different, because especially for a mom, because she's a part of me.
So you're in
So
love. Are you in love with your son, Luke?
yes, yes,
Huh.
because they are a part of me, and
Gotcha.
I would do anything. It's no limits for them. I have no limits for them.
Gotcha. Huh. So what about me? It's a conditional love for me, or are you in love with me too?
No, you see, well, I say, as long as my daughter is happy and you're doing what you're in love with her.
So it's conditional.
I it is, because if she's not, if she's like, oh, I can't stand him, and I'm like, okay, then my love is like, okay,
So
it's
you
it,
want to you
I
want your family to inherit conditional love or unconditional?
no, I want them to see, that's where I want them to inherit unconditional love from me. I don't,
For you or
I
from
don't
you?
want them, or for just for them to experience unconditional love. But
Got
people that they have, limits. Like, that's my baby, and if you're doing her wrong, I'm gonna be feeling some kind of way, and I'm like, okay, I'm
Fascinating.
gonna do what I can to maintain that love. But if
And
you hurt
so,
her,
yeah. So you love yourself. You are in love with yourself, though.
yes,
You have unconditional love for yourself. Under any and
yes,
all circumstances, you forgiving yourself.
right. I have, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
baby. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have any more.
So typically around this time, Mama, like we would be standing up, giving you a deep, long hug, and thanking you for your time.
Yes,
So it's
air
all via
hug.
from Torrance to Las Vegas. We love you tremendously.
I
Uh,
love you guys too.
I love you unconditionally. You know,
Amen.
Thank you.
there's not a
I'm gonna get there, Walter.
take your
I'm
time,
gonna
take
get
your
there.
time. There's not circumstances and conditions be damned. If you were to lose a limb or whatever and do some crazy stuff, it doesn't matter. Like my love for you is unconditional. And
Oh, that's so
yeah,
sweet.
100%. Yeah.
Oh,
It's all God. I see the God in you, and I see the God in you, that same God in me. So it's all spiritual, it's all rich, and 100%, 1000%. So we do know, I guess we do want to, like, if you want to talk to anybody in particular specifically, sometimes people are on your heart, like a granddaughter, great granddaughter, or a sibling, or son or daughter, because no, these is going to go in the family archives, and family will have access to it. In 10 years from now, when you're 72, God willing,
mm-hmm.
we can do this again, and maybe you can always look
Okay.
back at it and see. And then when you're 82, God willing, in 19,
Yeah.
it'll be 2041. You'll be 82 years old, and
Okay.
we can look at your sentiments and everything, and and remind you, like, hey, you want your family to inherit unconditional love. How's
Yeah.
that legacy going? Like, what's going on? And
Okay.
what work are
I
you
like
doing
that.
behind? Yeah.
That's so good.
This is the family formalization that we're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see
Oh
like
my
your
God.
youthful kick at 62, and see how youthful kick you are at 82 as well. So is there anything you want to like give or say to anybody in particular who may be watching this, and in the family who's on your heart right now, maybe?
Well, to my daughter Alethea, I just want to express how proud I am of you and your accomplishments and your goals. There's the sky's the limit, and um, the love that you and Walter, the love that you guys have, I just appreciate that so much, and the talks that you have, and the unity experience that you guys have incorporated with the girls is so awesome. You remind me so much of my mom. It's just like a part of her just went and just it's just in there. It's like, oh my God, that we was calling you little honey, and it is like
Really?
she when she has a when you have a project and something that you want to do, you just go forth and do it and get it done, and you don't let nothing stop you. And that's I'm just so amazed at the woman that you become, and I just want you to keep growing. And I thank you, Walter, for being there with her and for her. And my other children, Jan, J. Can, Ruben, I love you all unconditionally. Um, I know I haven't been the perfect mom or the best mom, but I am striving to be better. And uh, I don't want you guys to ever, those things that were in the past, I hope they stay there, and I want you to, us to just continue to grow on them, just to grow together and to reunite as a unit, and to know that I'm here for you no matter what. And I want you guys to know that you can depend on me. That's the thing. I want you to know that. In words and deeds, I want you to know that. I love you guys. And Walter, the same goes for you. Whatever
Okay.
I can do, whatever you need me for, I want to be there for you no matter what.
As long as
I
Alethea
want
is
you to
happy.
know that you
As
can
long as
depend on
Alethea's
me.
happy.
Whatever I can, I'm here.
Sure.
I'm here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I can tell you truly love your daughter tremendously, and I'll do my best to make sure she's happy and thriving and still alive. Her
I
heart's beating.
appreciate that. I so appreciate that.
Tremendously. Well, thank you so much for your time, Mama. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
And we'll let you know how to
Welcome.
access all the videos for everybody in the family as well. It'll be cool to see everybody, like everybody can see everybody's video and kind of just take
Yeah,
and like grow from that. It's gonna be rich, and I think bring us a lot closer together.
it is. This is awesome, you guys. This is awesome.
So you were our last parent, so we have all the parents now, and now we're
Okay.
gonna be doing Auntie Eleanor and all the aunties and the uncles. We got Uncle Levi and Uncle LeVay. We got Aunt Ding Ding already on the calendar.
Okay.
We got Auntie
Oh,
Eleanor.
Aunt Ding gonna be
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, we got everybody on the calendar.
yes.
Yeah, they're all
My sister is something else. Yes.
We're super excited about that. Cool. Well, we'll let you go. God bless you. Enjoy your Sunday.
All right.
Love you,
God
Mama.
bless you guys.
All right, Mama.
Ashe.
I say, there it is.